continue just ahead. You know, in the wellness circles, chlorella has been called the perfect food, but as a supplement, the common questions include how long do you have to take it for and how long will you feel when you begin consuming it? Well, chlorella contains chlorophyll, which is thought to act as a powerful detoxifier for the body. And as logic follows, as your body begins to detoxify built up acid and impurities, you may feel some discomfort. Wellness practitioners call this the initial process of cleansing. So there may be signs of bloating, diarrhea, itching and fatigue, but these should go away. The advice is to start gradually with a lower daily dosage and then work your way up to the recommended dose. You'll also know it's working if you feel a little heaty for 3 to 10 days. That's because chlorella increases your body's metabolic rate. Find out how you can benefit from chlorella. Call 6339-5045 for more information. The number again is 6339-5045. This message is brought to you by abeilledor Chlorella. Daily Health Check, Body and Soul on 938 Live. Thanks for staying with me, Daniel Martin. Today we're talking about hypertension as part of our ongoing health series on chlorella. Chlorella, of course, the naturally occurring algae, which is known as one of nature's powerhouses, a superfood it's been called even, very well regarded for its benefits, and we've been finding out a lot about it in the past few weeks as part of our ongoing health series. Could it also have a role to play in managing your hypertension? Well, we're going to find out with my guest, Associate Professor Dr Haresh Kumar. Dr Haresh, you were talking to us about getting checked and making sure that you monitor your blood pressure considerations to pick it up early and get the intervention that you need early, of course. What then are the biggest changes that we need to make to manage our hypertension? Lifestyle modifications and so on and so forth?
Okay, there are several things that you have to do, okay, basically that will help both in prevention and also in management of hypertension. Now, the first one is exercising, physical activity, okay, because many people out there are sedentary today. Their job is to sit in front of the computer for 9 hours and they hardly move, okay, with all these remote controls and all, people hardly move nowadays.
You don't have to sometimes.
Exactly, okay, and many people nowadays, they have got live-in mates, they don't do any work actually, basically. So the first thing is physical activity, at least 30 minutes every session for at least 3 to 5 times a week. Because exercising will actually lower your blood pressure. Number one. Number two, make sure that your BMI, your body weight, okay, is very much healthy. Okay, you come into the BMI range of 18.5 to 23, which is the ideal BMI, body mass index. So being overweight, okay, you have got a higher risk to develop hypertension. The second thing, your weight check. Number three, make sure that you always have your salt intake checked. Do not have the extra soy sauce or the extra salt that we always put in, because that will always create more problem later in life. Okay,
just get rid of the salt shaker from your table. Don't even put it there.
Exactly, because once you have it there, you're always very much tempted to take it and put it into your food. So take a lot of fruits, vegetables, okay, whole grain, nuts. Okay, now all of this will help in the prevention and also management of hypertension. They even have the DASH diet. Now, those people out there who do not know what is DASH diet, you can always check this out. DASH, which is the Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension diet. They even have that. So look out on that, okay? That will help you as far as your diet is concerned to prevent and manage hypertension. Stress management, another important thing. I know everyone has got stress, definitely. Limit alcohol consumption. If you can, quit smoking, those who are smoking, because smoking really does a lot of damage, okay? And try to take in a lot of some additional components in life, okay, which can help, okay? Basically, things like whole grains, okay? Vitamin D will help also in blood pressure, because a lot of adults out there, many people always tell me that living in Malaysia, Singapore and Asian countries, they've got no problem with sunlight, but they have found out that adults are deficient in vitamin D.
That's the irony, isn't it?
Exactly. So that's a bit strange actually. How can people living in tropical countries be deficient of vitamin D? Okay, now try to take this kind of stuff, okay? Another one would be chlorella, of course, okay? All of these will actually help in prevention and also management of hypertension.
Expand on that a little bit. Tell us, how can something like chlorella help in this process?
Now, chlorella has got an array of antioxidants, okay? An array of antioxidants like lutein. I told you just now, okay, lutein is one of them. There's a lot of carotenoids, okay, like beta carotene. Now, when a person has hypertension, there's a lot of free radicals in the body. Now, free radicals are the one that actually damage the endothelium. If you go back to the endothelium again. Now, once the endothelium is damaged, it can't produce nitric oxide, which gives the vasodilation effect. So, basically, what does chlorella do here is basically it gives the antioxidants that will neutralize the free radicals, okay, that are going to damage the endothelium. In that way, the endothelium will be spared, okay, and at the same time, chlorella will actually provide, okay, chlorella has very high in magnesium, calcium, and potassium. Now, this is a perfect thing which is needed by a hypertensive individual.
How so?
Now, potassium is an antidote to sodium. Now, if sodium increases blood pressure, potassium will stabilize blood pressure.
That's why you said a lot of people with hypertension are often recommended to increase their potassium
Exactly.
intake?
They always recommend you to take green vegetables like celery and everything. Okay, now chlorella is one of them because of a lot of calcium, magnesium, okay, potassium. It actually put a check, okay, on your... The moment you take this, automatically the sodium will be in balance. So the pressure will slowly stabilize, okay. Besides that, chlorella also has got a lot of antioxidants. I told you just now, chlorophyll, okay, carotenoids, and all of these are very important in the proper functioning of the blood vessels. Okay, now once the blood vessels get all this component needed, okay, to make sure that the endothelium, okay, is in perfect health, the blood pressure will slowly reduce and stabilize.
Let's talk more about that. Coming back, we continue finding out about hypertension and how you can manage and control and even prevent it, hopefully. Stay with us on Body and Soul on 938 Live. About this idea, as you just described, of how you can slowly, hopefully, bring it back under control, because a lot of people who are diagnosed with hypertension really do have to be on medication for a long period of time.
Yes, correct. They have to take medication to control their blood pressure. So basically what we suggest here, okay, you go on with your medication. Okay, when you have hypertension, you must consume your medication on time. Now you go on with the medication, but apart from medication, okay, at separate time of the day, okay, this you can consume chlorella. Now what basically chlorella does is, okay, when you consume chlorella is very rich in this particular amino acid which is called arginine. Now that's very important. Now arginine is actually very important in the production of nitric oxide. So we need arginine to produce nitric oxide, which is produced by your endothelium. So the moment I consume chlorella, I'm actually giving my body arginine, and arginine will be used by my body to produce more nitric oxide. And this nitric oxide is actually the vasodilator. So once I have the vasodilator produced, what happens is my blood pressure will automatically reduce. Okay, at the same time, arginine also decreases platelet aggregation, okay, and inhibits the adhesion of white blood cells to endothelial cells. Very important.
It's all about protecting that endothelium.
Yes, protecting the endothelium, because once we have white blood cells and foam cells and, okay, fat cells and all coming and sticking, okay, on top on this endothelium, this is actually the early events in atherosclerosis. So we can see that from one problem, hypertension, we are slowly leading to the other problem, okay, which is blockage of the artery. So we do not want that. So the main thing here is chlorella actually helps in regulating the levels of nitric oxide, which is the vasodilator, okay, required, okay, to bring down the blood pressure to normal ranges. Number one. Number two, it also gives the antioxidant, okay, to make sure that the endothelial are in proper function, because they neutralize all the free radicals. In that way, the blood pressure will be normalized.
Absolutely. This is so intriguing because it's all part, a lot of people, it's not a supplement. This is a naturally whole occurring food.
Exactly. It's a food. It's actually a food, actually.
Yeah.
It's more of a food than you can take it on everyday basis. Okay, and there's no fear that if I take excess chlorella, there's some people who ask me, oh, I took today excess, will it happen? I said no, because chlorella is just like any green vegetables, only that it has got more chlorophyll, it has got more protein, more vitamins and more minerals. So it's a perfect thing. You can never have overdosage of chlorella.
And somebody who's managing their hypertension is already making changes to their diet anyway.
Exactly.
Like you said, taking more green leafy vegetables, this is a component of that because they're all serving the same function to help really manage.
Exactly. So besides their drug, this is an adjunct that helps, okay, an adjuvant that helps to this one, sort of like, so Chlorella is a perfect match, but only my thing is, do not take the drugs and Chlorella together. Have it on separate, at least a 2-3 hour break. That will help. Do not take it, consume it at the same time.
And tell your doctor that you're taking it as well.
Yes, you can tell a doctor they're taking it, because basically this is just like consuming green vegetables.
Yeah.
Okay. And a very important advice to all people who are listening to me out there: if you're taking any supplements, never ever consume supplements with tea, coffee, or milk. That's a very wrong thing to do, because tea, coffee, and milk will actually block the absorptions of most of the supplements. And then when you block the absorptions, you don't get the full effect of the particular supplement.
Oh, great advice. Simple tip, which many of us make that mistake though.
Exactly. Now, the best thing to drink when you want to bring down the supplements, you're going to swallow the supplements, the best thing is water of normal temperature. Not even cold, not even very hot. Because if it's very hot, you can inactivate the supplement again. Just normal temperature is perfect.
Good tip indeed. Thank you again for your time. Good to have you on the show. Joining us on the program is Associate Professor Dr Haresh Kumar Kantilal, who is an Associate Professor at the Masa University College, Faculty of Medicine based in KL, Malaysia. Thank you for continuing to enjoy our ongoing series. Every Monday, tune in for this health series on Chlorella, right here on Body and Soul with me, Daniel Martin. This edition of Body and Soul is brought to you by abeilledor Chlorella. For more information, please call 6339 5045. Stay always in the best of health.